If you've been in tune with the NBA recently and you've watched Nuggets games specifically, then you probably know this sequence by Russell Westbrook.
Gordon is there, and he threw it away. It's a turnover. 2-on-1. Brown, Westbrook, no. Rebound Alexander Walker. Final seconds. Here we go. Conley the other way. Edwards looks at the clock. Drives. Feeds. Forwards.
They got a foul.
They got
a foul on the three-point shot.
It's a foul on the three-point shot.
And yeah, Westbrook didn't really have the greatest sequence there as he smokes a wide open layup after getting a nice steal, and then he fouls Nickeil Alexander-Walker on a three-point shot to make them basically lose the game. So, basically the reason why I'm saying this is his name's been in the media a lot, and, it's got to be thinking about, Russell Westbrook's future. Like, is he going to stay with the Nuggets or is he going to go to another team? And even though Westbrook kind of had a bounce back game after having 30, 11, and 6 today, even though they lost to the Spurs, he had a bounce back game, but, there has been some highs and lows with Westbrook this season. But I think he's actually had a pretty good season compared to the last few seasons he's had. However, that last sequence against the Timberwolves, you got us thinking about Westbrook and, what teams would actually want him going forward. Because Westbrook does have one more year on his deal, but it's a player option. And I feel like, after the season Westbrook's having, he feels like he probably can get more money somewhere else. And I don't know if he wants to accept his player option for $3 million at 37 when he could try to get a more long-term type of deal. So, I feel like the chances are likely that, he's going to decline that player option and try to enter free agency. And overall this season, he's actually not been playing bad. He's been putting out 13, 6, and 5 off a bench roll. That's not bad at all. And he's shooting about 33, 34% from 3 and mid-40s from the field. So, for Russell Westbrook, you'll take those efficiencies. And, I feel like some teams could actually pay him a lot more money now to come this offseason. And I'm not really sure if he's going to return to the Nuggets, especially because the Nuggets have a lot of cap tied into their main guys like Gordon, MPJ, Jokic, Jamal Murray. And I feel like, Russell Westbrook is going to want more than $3 million next season. And I just feel like the Nuggets won't be able to pay him that. And with that being said, we have an early look at what the teams that are most likely to get Russell Westbrook are. And we have the Phoenix Suns, Philadelphia, Mavericks, we have Milwaukee, we have Washington, we have Miami, San Antonio, Charlotte, Utah, OKC, then a bunch of random teams like Guangdong, Supersonics. That's kind of crazy, so I'm not sure how serious that is. But this is NBA Central. This is not NBA Central, so this is an actual tweet. But looking at some of these teams that they have on here, we have Phoenix, which could be very cool. We have Russell Westbrook and KD reuniting for the end of their careers. Like, they started together and they're going to end together. That could actually be very cool, and that's why I made the title of the video this, because, Russell Westbrook could be very likely joining KD in the offseason, and it actually kind of makes sense because the Suns are probably not going to pay Tyus Jones an extension or not pay him what he's wanting. And if the Suns don't fully rebuild, they could get Russell Westbrook as a bench guy or even a starter. So who knows there. We have Philly, which could be cool. I mean, if Philadelphia wants to make a little run, Westbrook can be a nice little six-man behind Maxey and Quinn Grimes if they sign Grimes. But I feel like the Sixers' priority should be signing Quinn and Grimes back. But then next we have the Mavericks, which could be cool. I can actually see that, having him pair up with, AD, Klay Thompson, Kyrie. Obviously, Kyrie's not going to play most of the season next year, but that could be kind of like an old, veteran kind of type of team. So I actually could like that too. And then we have, Washington, which I don't really think he should go there, except for if they want to get a mentor. But I feel like Russell Westbrook's going to try to win a chip, so I just don't think Washington makes that much sense. Miami Heat too, the same point. Maybe if Russell Westbrook thinks he can get more money from Miami and maybe get more playing time for Miami, he would go there. But, I'm not really sure how I feel about that. And then next we have San Antonio, which actually I like that more than the last few teams I just mentioned because, he could be a good mentor for Stephon Castle, and especially if CP3 doesn't come back, he could be cool. But if they re-sign CP3, then I don't think Westbrook should go there. Next, we have Charlotte, which I just don't think they should get Westbrook at all. I'm just not going to even mention them. Same with Utah. I don't think they should get him at all either. And then we have the Thunder, which could be cool, but I feel like he wouldn't get the money he would want going to OKC. But, if he goes back to OKC, that could be a cool little full circle moment for Westbrook. So, me personally, I like OKC, but I just don't think it's going to happen. But out of all these teams, I probably like the Suns, the Spurs, if they don't re-sign CP3. However, I think we can all agree the coolest one would be him joining Kevin Durant in Phoenix. A little full circle moment as well. Instead of him going back to OKC, he's going to finish his career with Kevin Durant. So that could be cool. Who really knows? Set aside their past dramas and everything. Obviously, they're friends now, but they went through a lot as NBA players together. So, that'd be cool to see them finish their careers together. However, I'm not really sure where he would go. He might just, pick up his player option if he's loyal to the Nuggets. Who really knows there? And I actually saw a tweet from Nick Wright saying he has not been able to contribute to winning basketball in nearly a decade. And this is Nick Wright talking about Russell Westbrook. And it kind of just makes me think, because I don't feel like he has. I don't feel like he hasn't contributed to winning basketball, because, this season he has been doing it. Obviously, that bad smoked layup and everything is causing people to start talking about him like this. However, I just think Nick Wright's overreacting. You think about it last year on LA, he was pretty solid for the Clippers. He had some good playoff series when he played. Just, no one on his team was healthy. Paul George had injury issues. James Harden was actually healthy for them last season, but Kawhi Leonard wasn't. And Kawhi Leonard wasn't healthy for the last 3 playoff series or something like that. So, you can't really blame him there. But the Lakers was bad, I will admit. But I feel like it wasn't just his fault. I just feel like him and LeBron just did not fit well at all. So you can't really blame him there. Then when he went to the Wizards, he had a really good season. He led him to the 8th seed with Bradley Beal. Obviously didn't have really playoff success. However, most 8th seeds don't really beat 1 seeds, especially when they're way less talented than them. And then we had the Rockets. They made the second round. So I feel like that's an overreaction. He's never really not had long-term success in the playoffs in a decade. He's had some playoff runs. Obviously, he's declined as a player because he's getting older and he's an athletic-based player. So obviously his impact, or just his overall, if you look at it in 2K lens in general, is going to go down as he gets older because of his athletic-based play style. So you can't really blame him there. I feel like Nick Wright is just overreacting, but it's just something to mention. But yeah, now I want to hear from you guys. What do you guys think about this? Do you think Westbrook has not contributed to winning basketball in over a decade? Do you think he's going to go to the Phoenix Suns in the offseason, or do you think he's going to go back to the Nuggets? And do you think that missed layup and everything, which is an overreaction, that was a rare occurrence? Or do you think, he's going to do that more? I don't know, man. Let me know in the comments there. Like the video. I didn't say that in the beginning of the video, so make sure you guys like the video, subscribe, do all that stuff. And now, man, we're out.